Alright, we're going to be doing an awesome unboxing video today. Daiwa USA just dropped 2 Bait Finesse reels. It was like a sleeper drop. They didn't do any marketing. So yeah, it's a big surprise for many folks. And I can't wait to unbox both reels. But this video here is going to be focused on the Tatula BF70. The other reel will come soon to my channel, so stay tuned for that. And I gotten this at Bait Finesse Empire. Y'all can check out the link in the description below. But yeah, I love Daiwa Bait Finesse reels, and I am glad that they put BF rather than BFS, because BFS is a trademark term from Shimano, stands for Bait Finesse System, and out of respect, they did not use it. A lot of folks right now are hopping on a Bait Finesse bandwagon, and they use BFS on everything. BFS lures, BFS reels, BFS rods. Oh man, I wonder if Shimano ever gonna come out for some blood, right? That'd be pretty interesting. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about this reel here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the specs that's on the box. That's one thing I love about Daiwa reels. Their box got specs that we can read off of, so that I don't need to dig out anything on the website. And I am not gonna go through everything. You guys hit the pause. I'll just point out some of the cool stuff. So this reel here does sport their hyperdrive digigear and a hyper arm housing. So if you want a reel that has a aluminum alloy frame, this is it. For Bait Finesse reel, in my personal opinion, you don't really need that, but having a reel that feels like it's not being warped all over the place when you torque it is great. But you know, typically with lighter rods and also less drag, I haven't seen that happen to a lot of my CDM reels, like the Sorinoya, Dark Wolf Ultra, the Jeans and stuff like that. Even the Cast King Zephyr Bait Finesse reel, none of those ever felt like it was like twisting. So do we need it? No, but for a reel like this, you know, premium product, it's nice to have, okay? And then I got the XHL version, left hand, 8.1 to 1 gear ratio, and it does about 30 inch per rotation. Now, do note that that is just an approximate. I think typically Daiwa do their reporting when their spool is pretty much max. So expect less, because us Bait Finesse anglers who use PE line typically don't max out their spool, okay? So anyways, take a look at the line capacity here. It's very interesting that they put 50 yards for every single line diameter. And there is actually a good reason for that. For those who use fluoro or nylon, if you put too much line on, especially when you put it on tight, you potentially could warp your spool, especially those thin spool, because the more line you have, the more it kind of bites down. And when you fight fish, or you know, you're trying to free yourself from a snag and stuff like that, you tighten that spool a lot. And have you ever watched those videos where people put rubber bands on a watermelon? Eventually, too many rubber bands will create so much force that it's gonna make the watermelon blow up. So yeah, you don't want to warp your spool. But yeah, for me, I'll be using mainly PE line, and I usually use something like 0.6 Go. This is my favorite line right here, Varvis 4. This is their entry-level line, but just because I said entry-level doesn't mean they're like low quality. Everything they have here, premium quality. What they have here probably beats everything that's on a US market right now, so check that out. Likely I'll use 0.6 Go to start off, but if I'm gonna end up using this as a bass fishing reel in the future, I might jump to 0.8 Go, or I'll use fluorocarbon. So anyway, it is finally time to unbox this baddie. Let's take a look. And here we are. This is how the Tatula BF70 looks like. And it looks just like the SVTW70, which I do have. Let me bring that over right here. And here you go, the Tatula SVTW70. They both pretty much look identical. Obviously, the biggest difference is going to be the spool. This guy here is shallower and lighter. And then the drag system, this guy is a lot lighter. Alright, with the Tatula SVTW70 away, let's focus on this reel and take a look at this baddie. Check out the handles. Okay, I love these handles. Super smooth. Okay. Sports a zero adjuster tension knob, which means this guy here is already pre-tuned, so don't tune it. Let me just double check. Yep, it has like a super duper micro chop. Like you could barely hear it, but you can move it left and right just a little bit. And that is fine. So this reel doesn't have a drag clicker, as you see, and here is silent. The amount of noise that this reel is making is just the same amount of noise that Daiwa USA made during the pre-launch marketing campaign, which is absolutely nothing. But it's cool. I like reels without the drag clicker because it feels a lot smoother. But if I were to use like a bait finesse reel for stream fishing for trout, I do prefer to have it just so that I can feel it. But for bass fishing, I really don't really care for it. I love the spider, the Tatula spider, man. Okay. T-wing system. So for those who are not familiar with T-wing system, this is their line guide system. It manages the line onto the spool, but when you disengage the clutch bar, you see that it pops down, so it has a wider hole there, so that when it casts, it'll dispense line a lot smoother because it reduces the amount of friction, so it's nice. And when you retrieve back, the T-wing system will go back down, and there you go. Okay, some people made some comments for some of my shorter videos, and they think that this line here is the line that indicates where the brake setting is, but it's just a screw to keep the plate on. Okay, as you see, it changes. The notch that indicate the brake setting is actually right here. Okay, and right now I am at 0. Anyway, let's take this out and let's take a look at this baddie. Oh, look at that. There is no bearing on the spool, so we can just take this and weigh it. And this inductor cup, is it SV style? Oh yeah, it sure is. It rotates out. So for those who are not familiar with the MagForce braking system, Daiwa uses basically these inductor cups and shoots out into the side plate here and applies brakes. Now, for the lowest entry-level MagForce braking rings, this just go in and out. That's it. However, this guy here sports what should be from SV and up, and what that is that this thing actually rotates forward and out. There's actually a ramp. So as you see, I'm twisting it, right? And slowly goes out and slowly retract. This gives it a much more smoother casting experience as your spool slows down. The brakes actually slows down rather than just a quick shut off. So it's pretty nice. Anyway, let's weigh this baddie. And here we are. Oh, let's try it this way. Right? Don't fall, don't fall. All right, so that is not bad. 10.88 grams. Definitely heavier than some. But in my experience, Daiwa spools, even though some of them heavy, they do really, really well casting lures. And the Tatula one, it's more of a bass fishing reel than the other one, the PX, the Pixie. The Pixie is more of a trout reel. So this is very acceptable. And having a heavier spool like this will allow you to cast some of the heavier bait finesse lures, like the power finesse lures, a lot further. And so, yeah, this is definitely going to be great. I would say potentially maybe 2 grams and up, but only a cast testing session will tell us how low this can go. All right, here's the side plate with a magnetic braking system and the spool bearing. Check that out. It's micro bearing. Since the spool doesn't have any bearings on it, I am assuming the reel itself inside the reel, where the tension knob is and perhaps where the gear is, probably have a set of micro bearings as well. And micro bearings is going to be great for bait finesse reels, especially those who like to throw lighter lures. Micro bearings allow that spool to start up a lot easier, so you can throw those lighter lures. And I am very, very curious how low this reel could go. So stay tuned for a cast testing video to find out. All right, now that everything is back together, let's weigh the reel. Look at that. That's pretty light, 6.38 ounces. So there you have it, my unboxing video of the new 2024 Daiwa Tatula BF70. I can't wait to get on the water and fish this, but first thing first, I know a lot of folks want to know how low can this go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some thin PE line, as mentioned earlier. I'll put something like this on here, 0.6 go, and we're going to see how low this goes. But in the future, I'll be focusing bass fishing techniques using this reel. So I'm going to likely have it on a light plus to a medium light rod, and doing a lot of bass fishing techniques. And then eventually, I will be doing the unboxing and also cast testing and fishing with the other Daiwa bait finesse reel, the Pixie. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, once again, I've gotten this at Bait Finesse Empire. Y'all can check out the link in the description below. Stay tuned for the cast testing session and fishing session. Thank you for watching. The fish don't wait.